Mike White will not play week number 15. The doctors would not clear him. Zach Wilson is set to start week 15. We've got T. Higgins, Justin Fields. We've got Stevenson news. We're breaking it all down. Let's hit the news desk. And at the end of the news segment here, we're going to do some voicemails, a special little voicemail bag segment.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
This is bad news because some of you had an option to play Brock Purdy on Thursday night, but you said, hey, I'll go Mike White. Mike White's cleared to play. He's not cleared anymore. The doctors won't allow him to play. So it is Zach Wilson time. Is it or is it not? I'm not trusting Zach Wilson. Neither should you. If you could get Brady off waivers, start Brady. If you could start Aaron Rodgers, I start Aaron Rodgers. I start Tyler Huntley over Zach Wilson. So if you have a dilemma, drop it in the comments below. But according to Adam Schefter, doctors would not clear Mike White, and therefore Zach Wilson will start. So bad news for Jet players all around. What does this mean for Mike White's future? I don't know. I don't know if they go back to Mike White next week. This is a disaster. Mike White can't get a fair crack. I know he got hurt. It's his own fault, but he's a warrior. He's a tough kid that wants to play injured, and now he can't. I don't blame doctors for not clearing him if they clearly think he's, at risk of long-term damage, then they don't want him playing. But if Mike White doesn't get another crack at this, if Zach Wilson looks mediocre at best and Mike White doesn't get another crack, I'm going to be pretty upset. But downgrade your Jet players a little bit. You still start Garrett Wilson, but maybe now Christian Watson versus Garrett Wilson is more of a closer call. We had a lot of questions about Garrett Wilson versus Christian Watson. We said weather, Green Bay, maybe we go Garrett Wilson with Mike White under helm. Now it's kind of more of a tough call even with the weather factored in, because you have Zach Wilson, who's like a natural disaster all by himself. So hit me with your dilemmas down below. This one's odd. Okay, Stevenson practiced on Friday. He's supposed to be out, and he practiced on Friday. We don't really know what to make of this. He could be very limited if he did play. We got to watch this one carefully. I don't have an answer for you yet, whether you could use Stevenson if he did end up suiting up. It could be very limited. We don't know. Hang tight. Treylon Burks is not going to play week 15. We kind of knew this was coming. Okonkwo would be a good play at tight end if you need a tight end, because the targets will be there for him. So if you got Okonkwo, fire him up. He should be good to go for week 15. I don't know that Jerry Jones knows what he wants. He keeps talking different things every day. USA Today is saying there's a good chance Odell signs with the Cowboys soon. I don't know what to make of this. Look, Odell's not going to help anybody in fantasy. Odell's not even going to help anybody in a playoff fantasy league. So right now, stay away from him. T. Higgins practiced in full. Look, we could say there's no risk here if he practiced in full, but we'd be lying to ourselves. I still throw him out there, given it sounds like he's a full go, but there is some risk given what happened last week. But for now, I feel relatively confident that he won't be hampered on Sunday. Justin Fields is not on the Chicago final injury report. Fire him up. He's a top 5 to 6 quarterback play this week. Brian Robinson was not on the final injury report, so fire him up if you've got him for your flex spot. He makes a fantastic flex play in week number 15. DJ Moore is questionable. A tough guy to trust and a tough guy to sit if you're in desperate mode. Make sure if you're going to roll with him, you're on top of the news. And be here 1/2 hour before kickoff. We'll be breaking down all the breaking news walking into morning game kickoff on Sunday. The Bears have ruled out Chase Claypool from playing against the Eagles on Sunday. This is not great news for Fields, but he's going to get a lot of his work on the ground anyway. It would have been nice for Fields to have at least Claypool, but apparently he will be without him. Najee, not on the injury report any longer. Removed from it. He's a fine running back to play heading into week 15. Tyler Lockett, fractured finger, will have surgery. He's expected to miss probably like 1 to 2 games. There's a small chance he could be back for the last game or maybe 2 games, but we'll call it the last game. So sit Lockett week number 16. Uptick for DK Metcalf, probably. More running for Kenneth Walker, probably. More defensive attention, maybe, but there's still enough weapons there with Fant and DK to not really expect like a crowded, 8-man front storming in on Kenneth Walker because Lockett's out. It's not great, but it's not a horrible thing. And again, DK could get more targets and Walker could get more rushes. So hopefully we get a bounce back performance out of Walker in week number 16. That is the news. Now we head to the voicemails. Welcome to the voicemail segment, where you can leave me a voicemail. All you got to do is go to Instagram, found at The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. Click the subscribe button and get my Instagram monthly membership. $4.99. You can drop daily voicemails to me. Be in the group and talk amongst each other all day long. Get quick answers from like-minded people. A mere $4.99. Cancel anytime. Go onto my IG, click on my profile, click that subscribe button and get into this and drop your daily voicemails that I answer Monday through Friday. About 20 minutes into the show every single Monday through Friday. But occasionally, like right now, I do a separate segment where I answer as many questions as I can from the voicemail group in a separate video because that's how we roll. Let's get into the voicemails for today. This one's from Blake.
Hey, Smitty, I know I asked you this yesterday, but my running backs are Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, Rashad White, and my wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, Chris Olave.
Yeah, Diggs and Wilson are the guaranteed locks at wide receiver. Barkley and JT are the clear locks at RB1 and RB2. So your flex would have been, in my opinion, I would have either went Walker or ETN, and it was a tough call, so don't beat yourself up if you went Walker. And he got like 12 points in PPR. It wasn't a horrible day. Pyram.
What up, Smitty? What are your thoughts on Goddard if he's good to go this week? My other choices are Okonkwo.
I'd go Okonkwo for now, bro, because we don't really know. I guess if we get some kind of clear indication right before kickoff that Goddard's going to be unrestricted, it'd be a different story. But Okonkwo is playing really, really well. And with Burks not playing, he's going to get even more targets. So I'm gonna definitely go toward the Tennessee tight end.
And what are your thoughts on this Patriots backfield? I got Stevenson, and it's looking like he's not going to play this week. So
Yeah.
I picked up both Strong and Harris. I'm thinking about just flexing Judy. What are your thoughts?
I probably would for the time being. We don't know what's going on in that running back room. Harris has been limited with the thigh injury, and there's no real way to tell. They sound optimistic. He's like on the optimistic side of questionable, Damian Harris, but we don't know. They could play Strong, they could play Harris, they could play both of them. They could give the other rookie Harris some work. We have no clue at this point, so I would stay away from it if I could, unless you hear some kind of clear indication that Damian Harris is starting. He's going to get full go last minute. We don't have that information right now. Big Howard.
Hey, Smitty. Fields or Prescott this week? Thank you.
I'm going Justin Fields. I couldn't sit him. Not for Dak. If I had a Burrow, if I had some other option that I felt was top 1 to 4, I could. He feels very locked into 5 to 7 type quarterback numbers. He's so electric on the ground. Give me Fields in this one, but trust your gut. It is close enough to argue. Lewis.
Can we get a moonshot for Kenny Walker?
We can. This was left before the game.
To the moon.
Kenny Walker did okay. He could have did better, but 12 points in PPR wasn't too bad. There are a lot of people that weren't happy with Kenny Walker's performance, but look, he ran well considering. He caught that nice pass at the end of the game that kind of salvaged his night. He did okay. He didn't do what we wanted, but he did good. He did decent. Tyler.
Yo, Smitty, would you swap Tyreek out for Olave? I might take a lap for this, but I know the Bills-Dolphins game is going to be like a snowstorm, and Olave's got a great matchup, so let me know what you think. Is that crazy?
I put my finger on the take a lap button, but the weather is a concern. I mean, it is, but I don't know that I'm sitting Tyreek Hill. You can't find another way to get Olave in your lineup. I do like Olave this week, but I'm not sitting Tyreek Hill. I can't do that in week 15. It's not a horrible idea if the weather reports get even worse. We'll have to kind of track it. Maybe this is a last second move we make, but for right now, I'm going to say no. I couldn't do it, but check back with me. Ryan.
Smitty, so I've got DJ Moore still at my wide receiver 3 with Mike White out. Are you trusting Eli Moore and slipping him in there at wide receiver 3? Because DJ Moore is questionable. My only concern is DJ's their passing game, man. They don't throw the ball a lot, so I'm concerned there.
Yeah.
And then I've got Bam Knight and Checo and CMC is my 3 RBs, Checo at my flex. Are you swapping ETN for one of them?
Bam and Pacheco are probably safer than ETN. I wish I could use ETN instead of the DJ Moore slot, but that sounds like it's a wide receiver. I'd probably go DJ Moore over Elijah Moore, given that Mike White's not in the game. But that's a real close call. I get your concerns, but they're concerns all the way around. I'd probably go with DJ Moore. I like Elijah Moore a lot, but they don't seem to want to use him fully. And with Zach Wilson under center now, I don't know that I trust that situation. I'd probably go DJ Moore, but it's a great question. Keep in mind that DJ Moore is questionable. You want to keep tabs on his health walking into week number 15. But if he is going to play, then I would play him in that scenario.
I have 5 options and 1 flex spot. Who should I start? Kadarius Toney if healthy, Brandon Cooks if healthy, Rex Burkhead, Isaiah Hodgins, or Marlon Mack. Half-point PPR.
Oh, God, bro. Those are really bad options. I would say, like, if Kadarius Toney was deemed healthy and starting, I would probably give him a go. Past that, I'd probably go on Burkhead. And I don't even know what his workload's going to be. You're running the risk of getting a 0 or a 10-point game out of one of these guys. Who knows? Man, Burkhead's let me look up Burkhead real quickly. Burkhead's last game, week 14, he had -3 yards rushing, 1 target for 1 catch and 5 yards. Week before that, 0. Week before that, 0 in terms of running. Yeah, there's not a lot there. Let's go to Brandon Cooks real quick. I mean, I know everybody's expecting a lot from Burkhead, and I kind of am expecting a little bit from him, but it's kind of hard to trust him until we see it. Brandon Cooks practiced on Thursday. It was previously reported that he wouldn't play week 15. We don't know if he's playing, man. We don't know if he's playing at all. I suppose if he plays, I put Cooks in there, but you're going to have to stay on the news to the last minute on this one because he practiced on Thursday, but as of Wednesday, he was expected not to play. So Cooks if he goes. If not, you got to go Burkhead. This one's from Chris.
Hey, Smitty, I'm in a bind here. I had Lamar Jackson, played Huntley last week, got burned by him, picked up Mike White, he's now out. My other options are Heineke, Dalton, Huntley again, Sam Darnold, and that is it.
Huntley
Appreciate
again.
Your help. Keep up the good work.
Chris, I'm sorry you got to go through this again, but Huntley's probably your best option again. I know there's risk involved. You could get burned double time, but those other options are not good ones. I would go Huntley. He at least gives you a shot. That's a shame. I'm sorry about the Mike White situation, how that unfolded really quickly today for you, but Huntley's your best shot, even though he burned you, bro. I would go Huntley, but that's me.
Hey, Smitty, what's your thoughts on Dillon since Jones is banged up again this week? Thanks.
I like him in a almost desperation play. You know, like I like Pacheco more. I like Zonovan Knight more as examples, guys that I would definitely pick. ETN I would start over Dillon. All those guys I'd start over Dillon. Jamal Williams I'd start over Dillon. But I think Dillon's like right there behind Jamal. Kind of a good shot for 50, 60 yards and a touchdown. I don't mind him at all this week, but there is some risk that they could, not give him enough work. But it looks like they might want to give him a decent amount. They've been throwing the ball his way. And he looks pretty decent walking into this game as a flex option. Catch me Monday through Friday. I'm live every single Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on the channel. I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight. I'm also live Sunday morning. I'm live Sunday evening to recap the Sunday morning and afternoon games. And oftentimes I'm live late at night around midnight, Sunday night. I'm live all the time. I work for you, the Fantasy Football Show. It ends right now, but I'll see you at 7 p.m.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.